Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course brought to you by New Earth One Network. I'm Loren Gailey, and we are here with the sound lady, Kathleen Nagy. We are talking about how you can use the beautiful sound of the human voice or the humming to really heal yourself and boost your immunity. Welcome, Kathleen.
Thanks, Loren. Good to be with you.
We are going to see a beautiful video experience in today's session, but I want to check in with you because this is an important time to be utilizing these tools. Share with us why it's so important now.
Well, everyone seems to be waiting for a vaccine for this coronavirus, and that's going to be months, possibly years away. No one is talking about building your immune system so you can fight it off without a vaccine. And in the time that we have waiting for the vaccine, we could have built our immune system's strength to the point where we could just fight it off. And that's why I thought this was a timely uh, topic. How to build your immunity using sound, the sound of your voice, and certain techniques that I'm going to, teach in the course.
And what's really interesting is the scientific level here. What we're about to see includes pictures of before and after. We're going to go into that, but share briefly what that's all about because that is proof positive.
Well, when I was playing these harmonic sounds on my horn, and this is all about harmonic humming, right? And how to make harmonics. And I talk about harmonics and tell you what harmonics are in the course. But um, I had been doing this sort of harmonic meditation with my horn where I would play a note and sing a note at the same time, and that creates this whole chord. And I would put certain combinations of notes together. And I did it because it just felt good. It made me feel good. And I did this meditation probably 5 days a week for 15 years. I never once got sick during those 15 years. And about, I feel a scratchiness in my throat and, like a cold was coming on, and an hour or two later, the scratchiness was gone. The cold never manifested. And I attributed that to this meditation that I was, doing every day, but I had no logical reason. I had no proof whatsoever that there was any correlation except that I felt it. So about 5 years into doing this exercise, I was in Provincetown, Massachusetts, and there was a little new age store that had an aura imaging camera. So I said, this is the place. I'm going to make an appointment. We're going to do before and after pictures, take a picture of my aura before I start playing the harmonics, and then play the harmonics that concentrate on, let's say, the heart chakra for 3 to 5 minutes, stop, take another picture, and then compare with the software from the aura imaging camera what happened. And so I did that for about 20, 30 minutes, and we took a bunch of pictures. And it was wonderful because for the first time I had proof. I had something tangible that I could hold on to that said every chakra that I played harmonics for raised in frequency, every one. And that was just like 3 to 5 minutes worth of doing it. And the explanations of the Aura software were just, I think, a little over the top, because it was saying things like, you must be doing some kind of divine work. It was really saying that I was, healing myself and healing others, and the possibility of miracles, and all of this stuff was coming out of the software from the camera. And I was like, well, this is awesome. If we didn't even have the software, we just looked at the colors, and the heart chakra started out at blue, and after I played the harmonics, it was purple. Well, purple's a higher frequency than blue, and that's really all you need. So the interpretation was, a bonus. It was the icing on the cake. So I want to show people that sound can affect matter. And that's what this, just get people to believe that this is possible. I mean, people don't think I have a cold, let me hum. They think I have a cold, let me take a pill, let me take some medicine, and there are so many other things that you can do, especially using, the sound of our voices, because our brain responds to the sound of our voice all day long, whether we know it or not. And we might as well consciously take that feedback loop between the voice and the ear and the brain about the health and the body and do something conscious with it. So that's why I start the whole course out with that aura imaging case study, to say to people, this really works, and here's the proof. And then I go about teaching the course and all the different ways to sing harmonics, to play harmonics on a pitch pipe, which comes very close to the sound of me on the French horn, except you don't have to learn how to play the French horn, you just have to learn how to blow a pitch pipe. And that was, so the course is really going through this step by step. Here's how to hum harmonics. Here's how to play harmonics on a pitch pipe. And now this immune support audio file, the MP3 file, this is really the way to get the most bang for your buck out of listening to that harmonic audio file. You can just listen to it and it will help your immune system, or you can hum along with it or play along with it and really give your immune system a kick. And so what I teach is how to do the same things that I was doing on the French horn, basically with the pitch pipe and with your voice.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to see a little introduction video here that explains more about what you just talked about. And you also have a support course, an online course that is a webinar where you work with those who get the pitch pipe to really fully teach them how to fully implement this. When you talk about harmonics, I know we're going to go into that, and you're going to say how we can hum harmonics, how we can play harmonics. Share a little bit more, an overview of harmonics and why harmonics are so important in this process.
Okay, so what are harmonics? And I go through, I have 3 or 4 slides on this in the video. It's a 40-minute video that teaches all of this. And I didn't want to spend too much time on it because it is the science of it, and I didn't want to bore people with the whole concept. But what are harmonics and why are they important? Harmonics, there's something in the physics of sound called the harmonic series of notes. It's a phenomenon of the physics of sound, and it's basically how a sound expands. And if you start with one note and you sustain it for a while in a resonant environment, that note will get richer and bigger and fuller because the harmonics are developing. And because the brain is a frequency transmitter and receiver, and the language of the brain is frequency, when you present the harmonic series of notes, that pattern to the brain, it recognizes it readily. It knows exactly what to do with it. So playing harmonics and creating harmonics around a note, it's like giving I say it's like a smorgasbord to the brain, where it can go and say, okay, this is all the note C, but this is the 5th harmonic of the note C, and this is the 7th harmonic of the note C. And the brain can go in and pick, those little pieces of the frequencies out of the harmonic sounds and use it to balance the energy of the body. So I think that harmonics are very important to just give the brain everything it could possibly need to make the repairs it needs to make.
All right, beautiful. Well, thank you for that. And so we're going to go into that video now. Let's watch.
Hello, I'm the Sound Lady, Kathleen Nagy, presenting this Immune Support Harmonic Humming course. Let's start with matter vibrates. Most people agree with me on that. And then I say, sound is vibration. And again, most people will agree with me on that. So it is logical to conclude that sound affects matter. You just need to have the right sound for the right piece of matter. And that's where I come in. And I'm going to teach you the sounds that will affect the matter, the organs, and the systems of your body. Here's a case study I undertook with an aura imaging camera to try and find some visual proof for why I felt so good after playing these harmonic sounds. Explanations of my aura colors are interpreted by the aura imaging software of Redwood City, California. The before and after photos of my aura were the visual validation that I was looking for. You see, I'd been playing these harmonics for many years as part of my daily meditation because they made me feel so good. They boosted my immune system and helped me with other body systems. Now that I could see the results of playing these harmonics, I understood why I felt so good after playing them. The camera software provided visual proof that harmonic chords can energize our chakras and our body's systems and organs. The picture on this first slide was taken before I started to play and sing harmonics through my horn. I'd been meditating with my horn for many years. I love meditating with sound versus meditating in silence. It really helps to keep me focused. I had experimented with all kinds of ways to stop that chatter in my mind with my horn. My favorite was to play and sustain a note on the horn while at the same time singing a note into the horn. This created a multi-octave chord. I then asked my brain to try to identify all the notes that were sounding, and try as it might, it would give up and go blank. The process I followed was to take a picture of my aura, then play harmonics that corresponded to a certain chakra that controlled specific body systems. In this slide, you see the before playing harmonics picture on the left and the after playing harmonics picture for the process of circulation on the right. Now, circulation is regulated by the heart chakra. According to the aura camera software, the chakra which corresponds to the heart and circulation went from the before state of blue to the after state of violet. Violet is a higher frequency than blue. Blue, which was described by the camera software as desiring peace and quiet, accelerated in frequency to violet, which was described by the software to now be glowing with magical spiritual inner light and guided by a higher power. Next, I played harmonics that corresponded to our process of digestion. The solar plexus chakra, which corresponds to the process of digestion, according to the camera software, went from the before state of aquamarine to magical blue, or from feeling a calm satisfaction to being in an intense state of beauty, harmony, and oneness with the divine, and spiraling out of my center is a beautiful healing energy, creating myself as a clear conduit for healing myself and others. Next, I worked on respiration, which includes both the heart and the throat chakras. Notice all the white light in the after picture on the right? I actually had to take a break after that 5-minute session of playing those sounds, as my awareness had become quite expanded and I needed to re-ground myself. The camera software said the chakra which corresponds to respiration in the throat went from the before state for the throat of violet to magical violet, or from radiating a magical inner peace to expressing the possibilities of miracles. And the heart chakra went from desiring peace and quiet to glowing with a magical spiritual inner light, inspiring others and proving anything is possible. After my short break, I came back to work on the kidneys, which are responsible for fluid filtering and water retention, and they correspond to the root chakra. The chakra which corresponds to the kidneys went from the before state of blue, which the software said was calm and peaceful, to white, which the software said intense healing energy. Now, all of these Aura camera pictures were interpreted by the camera software. The explanations were not mine. But don't you agree? This was a pretty incredible result from only a 20-minute exercise in playing harmonics. Now you have seen visual proof that specific harmonics can raise the frequency of our body's systems and organs. Now that we have seen that specific sounds can affect specific pieces of matter in the human body, let's talk for a minute about nitric oxide. This is a clip from an article from the National Institute of Health. It cites a study done in 2002 about nitric oxide and our nasal passages. What is nitric oxide? Well, it's a nitrogen oxide, which in humans is a signaling molecule in many physiological and pathological processes. It was proclaimed the molecule of the year in 1992. And in 1998, the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded for discovering nitric oxide's role as a cardiovascular signaling molecule. And bullet point number 2 on this slide, it inhibits the replication of severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. The study measured how simple humming increased nitric oxide in our nasal passages and sinuses. These are the tissues where coronaviruses linger for days before infecting other tissues. Humming greatly increases nitric oxide. I know it sounds too simple, but humming can kill coronavirus infections in our sinuses and nasal passages before it can wreak havoc on our lungs and throats. Here are a few more studies that verify that fact. High nitric oxide production in human paranasal sinuses from 1995. The paranasal sinuses as reservoirs for nitric oxide, and that was in 2002. And current value of nasal nitric oxide measurements in rhinology, and that was from 2004. Here's a good way to clear your sinuses by humming. So you want to put your fingers on either sides of your sinuses, both sides of your nose here, little finger closest to the nose, and start humming a note in the middle of your vocal range. Hum up in like a scale-like manner, or using a slow glide to find the note that vibrates your sinuses the most, and you hum that note for 5 minutes. So it sounds like this. You just kind of start in the middle of your vocal range with a hum, and we're humming because humming keeps the vibrations inside of our bodies, right? So just kind of put your fingers here on your sinuses and take a deep breath. There, that's the note for me where I feel the most. I went to it, I felt it, I went above it a little bit to see if it got more. It didn't, so I went back down a little bit to that note that really felt like the most. Now, of course, you can always just hum your favorite song over and over, or a children's song like Mary Had a Little Lamb or Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Just pick a song that's easy for you to hum and hum it for 5 minutes. It will create nitric oxides in your sinuses and stop the replication of coronavirus germs. What are the right sounds to boost your immune system? It's a simple gliding up and down, sounding all of the notes within the octave of the note C. Use your voice to hum from middle C on the piano, or 256 Hertz, up to the octave above at 512 Hertz. Or for men, start an octave below that at 128 Hertz and then glide up to middle C, 256 Hertz. While you hum, you're gliding up slowly to include all the notes that are contained in the space between low C and high C. It sounds like a slide whistle or a penny whistle. Then take a breath and glide back down to the lower C in the same way, sounding all the notes contained in the octave. It's really that simple. If you have no way of finding the sound of middle C, there are plenty of tone generators online that can play it for you, or you could use a chromatic pitch pipe to find the note. So I'm going to use the chromatic pitch pipe here and demonstrate this for you. I'm going to blow the low C here to get my starting note. And now I'm going to start gliding there.
In the full course with Kathleen, you'll learn how to create harmonics with your voice, your tongue, and your lips, and how to use the pitch pipe as a tool for health, and how to play harmonics on a pitch pipe. Plus, you'll learn the basics of playing a pitch pipe and playing immune support harmonics on a pitch pipe.
Well, did you enjoy that, everyone? I know it was chock full of information, and that's why I've got this class, this online class, scheduled for people, because you're going to have a million questions after you watch that video. In this video, there's techniques for humming to boost your immune system. There's techniques for humming to create nitric oxide, which is a molecule that has been studied since the 90s and proven that nitric oxide that lives in the sinuses and nasal passages will stop the replication of coronavirus in your sinuses and throat before it can wreak havoc in your lungs and the rest of your body. And these are scientific studies. And so I teach people how to find the right notes that really vibrate their sinuses. I teach people how to hum along with that immune support file that I've given everyone for free. So many people have hundreds of people have downloaded it since I started giving it away for free in April, last April. And so this is kind of a course that teaches you how to really get all that you can possibly get, you know, from listening to, humming along with, playing along with, playing a pitch pipe along with that audio file to really give all the vibrations to your body and give your brain as much as it all the best possibilities to do good. And the pitch pipe is a big part of it, because when I was doing the before and after pictures of the Aura imaging camera and playing my French horn, I was thinking, oh, how can everyone do this? It's so good for you. And I'm like, Kath, you know, people aren't going to learn how to play the French horn. This is crazy. And then I thought we could do it with a pitch pipe, because just like playing one note on the French horn, like just playing one note and then humming a note along at the same time, you can do the same thing on the pitch pipe. So play one note and hum other notes, and you can create the harmonic chords that the brain can go into and say, oh, smorgasbord, I want that little piece, and I want that cherry over there, and I want that olive over there. And the brain can take all the pieces of the harmonics to help balance the body, to strengthen your immune system. So the course is watching the video, again, that 40-minute video, you come up with a list of questions of what I don't understand, what I can't do, and I don't know why I can't do it. And then you come to the class, and there'll be like 10 people in the class maximum, because I don't want to overdo it. And I can answer your questions and help you do the things that I suggest in the video that you're having trouble doing, playing and singing the harmonics, humming along. All of that is what the online course is. It's just working with people. And if you're an energy worker and this is something that you want to give to your clients, one more tool that you want to put in your little toolbox, then as you go through the course with 10 other people or 9 other people, you can see all the things that will go wrong and all the things that I do to fix, you know, to make things work. So it's a great learning style to do it that way, to watch other people learn and watch other people stumble through it, and then watch them come up with the, oh, that's how you do it. Then when you're working with your clients, you will be able to handle the things that come up. So that's really why I did it. I want people to be able to boost their immune systems, uh, and know how to help teach other people how to do it too. And people were saying, well, can you give me a certificate that says that I've taken your course? And I'm like, no, just say I taught you how to do this, and teach it to as many people as you possibly can. When you start certifying things, it just holds up the information. It puts this block, and this information needs to get out to as many people as possible. And it's not an expensive thing to do, so I'm trying to make it very accessible to all people, so that you can learn how to do this and teach everybody you know how to do it.
Yes, thank you for that. And so this is really getting it out there for people's own use, their own use with their selves, and then to teach their family members to do it, and then their neighbors. And then for all of those healers who are out there, this is a great tool to add to the toolkit, to the toolbox, to the medicine kit. It's so beautiful. Thank you. It really is the vibration of sound. It's like something about this resonating in your body, like you were saying, the nitric oxide that you're humming to actually is shifting and boosting the immune system. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. And so if I go to the grocery store and I wear my mask and I'm careful, when I leave the grocery store and I'm driving home, I'm humming. I'm humming all the way home. Because
Give us a little hum. Give us a
just in
little
case
hum here.
you can hum. You can hum a children's song. Hum it in the middle of your vocal range, or learn. As watching the video, it'll teach you how to find the specific note that vibrates your sinuses more than any other note. And you don't have to have a pitch pipe to remember what that note is. When you're in the car driving, you can find the note, and there it is. You feel it. It's not something that you need to see or hear. It's something that you feel. And when you feel your sinuses really vibrating with your little fingertips here on your sinuses, well, that's the one. Just keep singing, humming that note.
Just keep humming that note. And I would venture to say, as we walk around wearing our masks in those public places, to actually send out some love vibrations, some love harmonics, and actually shift the room as well. Not only are we helping our own immunity, but can you imagine the vibration that goes out? And it doesn't have to be audible necessarily,
Right.
right?
Right. It's just the intention. Sure. Yeah.
Uh, Beautiful. All right, so your online course, it's a single session online course, and it really helps people use this technique, whether they want to use it in their own lives or in their health healing practice.
Mhm.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All of those who are interested in sound healing, this is one of the fundamentals of working with sound, our own voice. And I want to say, Kat, that your voice is very harmonic as well. We can hear all of those tones, and that is so healing. So, just by speaking our voice, and
Yes.
in today's world, just by speaking our voice with harmonics, gets attention, it gets heard, and it presents a heart centered vibration. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, intention is everything, right? The breath and intention. And if your intention is to spread goodness, uh, then you will spread goodness, right? If your intention is to be a calming force in the midst of chaos, breathing a calm voice, a resonant voice that is rich and full of harmonics, will immediately, it will balance the people who are listening to you. As long as you're grounded, got your feet on the ground, you got your energy going into the earth, you can take this breath, this sound that carries the intention, that this life force that has its own consciousness, the breath, it has its own consciousness. It is part of the consciousness of the one that permeates everything. So you tap into that consciousness, you tap into the love and the compassion that's in that oneness consciousness and the breath of life, and use it. Use it to calm people down. Use it to center and ground people just by yourself being centered and grounded and speaking from that spot.
Yes. Yes. It changes the world, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And sends love vibrations everywhere. Awesome. So, Kathleen, thank you for this online course. I want to mention one more time that the details for that is on this webpage, or there's a link to it, however, you're watching this course. We thank you for sharing this information and for mobilizing the crew to use this and to get this out there on such an open level. You've shared so much information. The webinar that you're going to do, it's recorded so those who can't be there live can access it, but you're also holding these live so that you give the attention that's needed to each individual. As people register for this class, they're going to be put in a group of 10. And so you'll do this every week. And when people register, you'll put them in the appropriate groups for their best time zones. You've got a
Right.
couple of different time zones for that. So we encourage people
Right.
to sign up. Sign up. This is a regular event that Kathleen is offering, and it is popular. It is one of the most popular topics of people's empowerment is using your own sounds. And
Sure.
so we encourage everyone to register for that, and you can ask Kathleen anything. Kathleen, you shared a little bit about your French horn, but it really is your French horn playing that actually opened you up to this whole beautiful world of sound and sound healing.
Right. Right. I went from music as entertainment, which I did for 20 years and played in symphony orchestras. Um, I just felt like there was more to sound than just entertaining people. And that's when I went off into this sound healing journey that started with my French horn and then included the voice and put those two things together, and then all the different ways that you could use the voice um, to give information back to the brain about the health of your body.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for this Mastery Empowerment course. We hope people are using it. And to get the additional instructions, sign up for Kathleen's class. Anything else that you'd like to share as we close our sacred circle?
Let's see. Buzzing and humming. I would just encourage people, this might not be for everyone, but for those who are musically inclined, those who love to sing, those who love music, um, if you play a musical instrument, fine. If you don't, fine. If you have an appreciation for music and you like to listen to it, then really this is for you. It's one way. It's not taking a pill. It's not eating something that you have to digest to get the benefit from. Sound permeates everything, is connected to this primitive part of the brain, not the prefrontal cortex. Sound is a basic survival, you know, sense. So that what our hearing is so very important to, like dogs in their hearing and dogs in their sense of smell, right? Humans, hearing is really, really important to surviving. So when you can start to find different ways to use your voice and to listen, it's just going to enhance um, your well-being.
Yes, using your voice and actually learning how to listen to it differently. It is for those who love to sing, but maybe family members don't often want that. So, this is a way to express the voice with
Yeah,
humming. Everybody can hum, and you don't need
right.
to be a singer to hum.
Right. And you don't hum for anyone else. You hum for
Yeah.
yourself, right? Humming is not something you perform. People aren't going to judge your humming. You might hum for an infant, in your arms so that they can feel that vibration. But humming is a self toning technique. You do it for yourself, and there's no judgment whatsoever around a hum. Oh, she doesn't have a rich hum. Oh, did you hear her not hit the high note on that hum? That stuff doesn't happen. You're just humming for yourself, or you're a shower hummer. You hum in the shower.
Now, enjoy this 15-minute immune boost audio session and hum along for best results. Happy humming, everyone. You want to walk with a hum and just spread that love around our planet. It is priceless, and we thank you all for sharing. Kathleen Nagy, the sound lady, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing this incredible wisdom. Again, we invite all to work with you more deeply. I'm excited for that, and I hope everyone is excited to really learn this finer instruction of humming and take this instruction with Kathleen, the sound lady. Kathleen, thank you so much for this beautiful expression of your love and your wisdom.
It's my great pleasure to be able to be myself and share what I know for the betterment of whoever needs to know it.
So open and so loving. Thank you. Namaste.